Hi, I'm Nicole Andrews, and I'm a special education teacher at Dawson Boyd and a graduate student at Morningside College. The title of my paper is A Resilient Pedagogy for Teaching Phonics to Students with Special Needs. The 2020-2021 school year required teacher instructional plans to be resilient to the changing learning models. During the changing of learning models, equity of services for students with special needs is a priority for school districts. My research was designed to find an instructional model based on research to increase my students' phonics skills. The flipped instructional model provided instruction outside of class before in-person guided practice. Some intentional planning interventions can be effective with digital. It can be effective when delivered digitally. The purpose of this study is to investigate the effects of a resilient pedagogy on phonics instruction for second, third, and fourth grade students with learning disabilities receiving direct instruction in phonics from a special education teacher. There was little or no research found on teaching phonics virtually. I will take you through the research related to the flipped instructional model and phonics instruction intervention and try to combine the research to develop a research-based intervention for reading. A literature review indicated that flipped instruction model is one way of combining technology with instruction that can be provided in person and digitally. Flipped instructional model is guided instruction that occurs in the place of a large group lecture led by the instructor. Although flipped instruction took more time and energy before the lesson, it was determined through a review of literature that students were engaged and took more responsibility in their learning. Research also provided evidence that there was a high parent approval rating of 78% for this type of instruction. Further research in this type of instructional model should be conducted on teaching online phonics instruction in the elementary. Virtual and blended schools make up a small portion of school choice in the United States. However, with a worldwide pandemic forcing schools to close and requiring virtual learning for nearly all students, using online learning interventions were paramount. A previous study revealed that 18% of virtual and blended students attending school. A previous study revealed that 18% of students attending a virtual or blended school meeting or exceeding proficiency benchmarks outperform students that attend in-person schools. There are limited studies to identify performance of an elementary student that enroll in public schools and suddenly shift to online learning. Extensive research has been conducted on the best way to teach phonics. The National Reading Panel's meta-analysis of 38 studies utilizing 66 treatment control groups revealed that systematic phonics instruction was considerably more effective than little or no phonics instruction. The National Reading Panel went on to conclude that phonics instruction that is designed with a systematic approach shows positive and significant reading improvements for students with reading disabilities. More research echoed the National Reading Panel's findings that direct and explicit instruction was found for all phonics instruction. Students with learning disabilities were more likely to learn phonics if the teaching pedagogy was systematic and include direct and explicit instruction. A flipped instructional model follows three theoretical frameworks. First, individuals have to develop their own learning by using what they have learned previously by interacting with or viewing a video. Students participate in a flipped instructional model, actively engage in learning through a video prior to the in-class activities, and then are able to use their previously learned knowledge to ask questions to construct meaning while in class. Secondly, students are able to construct meaning from someone more skilled from them and then apply skills later during guided practice with an adult. Finally, the flipped instructional model allows the student instruction to be more individualized while students move through the sequence of skills as each one is mastered. Research has been shared that the flipped instructional model was used in a middle school or high school setting, but no research was conducted with elementary students learning phonics. My research was aimed to provide evidence for phonics instruction that can be delivered online or in person to increase equity of instruction for students with learning disabilities, increase student participation in online learning, and deliver a consistency of instruction that might occur during the mitigating health concerns during the COVID-19 pandemic. My participants Participants in my study are students from the rural West Central Minnesota elementary school population of 500 students, K through 12. 12 students in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade participated in the study. All students have an individualized education program with reading goals. Ages range from 8 to 11 years. 78% of my subjects were male and 22 were female, with varying socioeconomic and racial backgrounds. The study measured a small group of participants that received the same treatment during the control and experimental phase of the study. Using a single subject A/B design, data was collected at all 3 phases of the study. Core Phonics survey was used to identify strengths and weaknesses of the phonics skills. It is a mastery test intended that all students would master each target. Benchmarks through the core phonics surveys will project the targeted phonics skills needed for more instruction. This test provided reliability in that each student was provided the same assessment tool, and the same measurement tool for each phonics of the study increased reliability of the scores. This measure also had construct validity in that it directly provides strengths and weaknesses in targeted phonics skills. This tool's content validity provided consistency with benchmark content to identify mastered and targeted skills aligned with grade level standards. The students were shown a word, and they would use decoding skills to correctly pronounce the words while the teacher recorded the participants' accuracy of word reading. During the control phase, direct instruction and guided practice can be done face-to-face or virtually depending on the learning scenario. A sample lesson plan would be to review skills, present new information through visuals and examples. Students would practice phonics skills using paper or digital activities and games. Interactive notebook pages and hands-on activities would help the teacher identify the student's progress on the skill identified through the core phonics survey. The experimental phase was the same structure with direct instruction and guided practice. Video presenting phonics content and an adult reading words with the phonics pattern that the student is learning is assigned through a Google Classroom for the students to access whenever they have time to access. The study's findings were categorized into 2 sections, the single-syllable words and the multi-syllable words. It was determined then when looking at the study's results that all participants increased their ability to read single-syllable and multi-syllable words after the control and the experimental phase of the study. A bar graph displays the means and standard deviations of test performance when reading multi-syllable words. Again, participants' average of words read increased after each phase. When we look at the inferential statistics of the study, it was determined that the data was not statistically significant after the experimental phase of the study. Results of the single-syllable treatment phase, with 11 being a degrees of freedom and the alpha level of 0.05, the t-score was negative 2.009 with a p-value of 0.070, which is less than 0.05. It can be confirmed that the findings that the intervention was not effective in the acquisition of phonics skills when measuring single-syllable words and is necessary to accept the null hypothesis and reject the hypothesis. In addition to the single-syllable words, data was collected and analyzed on the students' acquisition of multi-syllable words. As reported earlier, the students' average words increased. However, the t-scores after the experimental phase with the degrees of freedom value of 11 and the alpha value of 0.05, the t-score was negative 0.537 with a p-value of 0.602. And it can be determined that there is not a statistically significant difference. The decision was to accept the null hypothesis and conclude that the flipped instructional model paired with the direct instruction and guided practice of phonics instruction is not effective. Historically, there is little research using a flipped instructional model to increase phonics skills. The results of the current study can be compared to another research study conducted to explore the effects of the video-based flipped classroom on reading motivation. During the treatment phase of the study, students watched a video at home and answered questions before returning to class. The current study resulted in many students not viewing the video at home, possibly affecting the results of the flipped instructional model. One study gave evidence of the impact of a flipped learning on general education, fourth grade math students. Although flipped instruction took more time and energy before the lesson, the students were engaged and took more responsibility in their learning. Participants were not measured in my study. Their motivation was not measured, but it was observed that the videos were a positive effect on the participants' attitude about phonics during direct instruction time with the teacher. The study followed the cognitive constructivism belief of learning as participants were introduced to the target phonics skill through a video intended to build knowledge of the skill before they worked with a teacher. The participants were also able to construct their learning as they were encouraged to socialize about the videos with their peers, as some of the videos had catchy songs or phrases to help students connect the phonics pattern. A systematic and sequential list of phonics skills guided the teacher to identify the phonics patterns to be taught, and it was based on the mastery learning theory where participants moved through the list of skills at their own pace as each skill is mastered. While reflecting on the current research, there seems to be some limitations to the study. By design, a flipped instructional model is when students participate in instruction before class. So one limitation that maybe have affected the study was that the length of the study was short. It took some time to teach the digital literacy skills to access videos and develop routines. Developing a highly interesting video was time consuming, and another limitation that may have affected the study is the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation necessary for participants to follow through with interacting with the videos outside of the school. Elementary age students, especially students with special needs, require adult proximity to complete tasks. Although the measure to identify phonics strengths and weaknesses was a valid and reliable tool, the additional progress monitoring tool may be necessary to determine mastery of skills between assessments. Further recommendations would be to explicitly teach digital literacy skills so students can fluently access videos through the Google Classroom. A task analysis and a visual schedule of a routine that students can access in school and at home to develop appropriate homework routine. To help with this process, teachers need to explicitly teach routines and reinforce expectations before a flipped instructional model can be implemented. Communication with the parents is necessary implication when implementing a flipped instructional model. Since the students are required to view the videos outside of the classroom, parents become vital in this type of instruction. The teacher could provide literature in a letter to the parents of expectations of viewing videos at home. Utilizing online videos through YouTube, Khan Academy, and Edpuzzle reduce the amounts of preparation that the teacher has to do, and progress monitoring at each sequential step of mastery may provide feedback for both the teacher and the student. The most important implication of the current study is that students benefited from the instruction explicitly taught with guided practice. An overarching implication is to provide routines and incentives to increase student motivation to view videos outside of the classroom without teacher proximity. Another implication of the study was that it took time for the teacher to develop videos that were differentiated at each phonics skill that the student had mastered. Administrators may provide professional development opportunities to network with other teachers. Having a library of videos for these phonics skills will reduce the amount of preparation needed for each lesson. Despite these limitations, the results suggest several theoretical and practical implications that should address using a flipped instructional model to teach phonics skills to elementary students. The instructional routine of the study was provided in a sequential manner that is important when following the science of reading and the mastery learning theory. The differential statistics indicated the students had gains in phonics skills at both the control and experimental phase of the study. However, the inferential data did not show a statistically significant difference when the intervention had been applied. This data these data have some potential intervention implications. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. After my references, I have a wrap-up. Thank you.